today with the podcast. My name is Horne, and just before we get started, I'd like to introduce myself, tell you a little something about me. Originally from Memphis, Tennessee, by way of Detroit, Michigan. I lived in both cities for a number of years, so I call both of them home. I've been in Memphis for the last 20 years, or actually the last 25 years, practicing law, engaging in other businesses and living life with my family and my kids. We had this idea to do this podcast to sort of talk about family, finance, fun, fitness, and just life. And so we're here today, hopefully, to enlighten you, enlighten the world, and share who we are and what we do. And hopefully you'll take something from this in a positive way. I'll turn it over to my cohort, Anthony Rankin.
Anthony Rankin here, Tony, for short. Also from Detroit, Michigan, Southfield, specifically. Not an attorney, but work in a few areas, basically, I'm already messing up. So this is the thing. So entrepreneurial based, I own a fast signs in the northern west area of Las Vegas, Nevada. I own a marketing company here in the Mid-South. I own also a water company that you see here, which we're enjoying, Meta H2O. This is one of the companies that I'm involved in, specifically one of the more exciting companies, newer companies that I'm involved in because of the way it was originated. This is actually a Black-owned company out of Michigan, Detroit specifically. Our CEO and founder, Jeremy Odom, came up with this concept based off of the resources that our people, typically have, depending on our regions. But hydration is something that most people take for granted. It adds emotional stability as well as health and all kinds of other different factions that, are elements that really, heighten a person's ability to have energy and just, the natural standing that you're supposed to be in. But he recognized the deficit in that a long time ago and came up with this concept. And, it's doing really good right now, and I'm really excited about it. But that said, I'm also a real estate guy, originally. Affiliated Developers is my current brand. And, as my cohort said here, we are hoping to enlighten everybody. We're hoping to bring something to the table that is familiar, as well as, thought-provoking and informative. And we hope that, we can have some fun at the same time. Or I'm hoping I can have some fun at the same time.
So if you're wondering kind of how we came together, we'll take you back to the beginning. You want to start over?
Yeah, he don't want to talk. He's chatting in the background. Everybody but you, huh? He can hit up hard.
So to take you back to how Tony and I came together, we'll have to take you back to the beginning in Southfield, Michigan. Back in the 80s, we both 70s babies. We aging ourselves. But we grew up in a city called Southfield, Michigan, which Southfield was an all-American city.
Yay.
And it composed of every ethnicity you could think of. And so we grew up in sort of a somewhat of a suburban utopia with a mix of Detroit and hood to it. And that's how this man and I met. We went to a school called St. Michael's from an early age. And we rode the bus together every day. And I think a lot of why we are the guys that we are today and why we grew up to be sort of humble guys, even though we both had a great deal of success and attention in our lifetime from women, was due to the fact that it was rough. The start of
more than rough.
How we came about was rough. I was known as baseball because I had a strong affinity for baseball over girls. And Tone was affectionately known as Pumpkinhead.
Yeah.
So,
unfortunately fitting.
Every day when we got on the bus, my bus stop was before Tone, and I would be the butt of the jokes to the older cats. And the thing about it is, like, when we grew up, like, you know, in today's society, you hear about bullying, right? And you hear about all these kids getting bullied, either cyberly, really more cyber bullying, but bullying was very prevalent in our day and age. It was almost like a rite of passage. And so when we were growing up, I can say that he and I got bullied quite a bit. I was a frumpy kid with a big afro that was never really combed, and I fortunately blossomed into a fine young man as in my later years. But the beginning, I can tell you, it was not always fun, and it was very rough. It was very rough, sir.
And on my end, Pumpkinhead, unfortunately, was affectionately accurate. I'm almost 6'3" now, but my head is the same size now as it was when I was 5. So, yeah, it stood out to an extent. But that's it. I mean, coming together in that scenario kind of made us stronger. I mean, you know, growing up in that environment, I know a lot of people now, you know, would kind of think that that's kind of crazy to have, you know, operative bullies in your world and nobody doing anything about it. But it does build character, okay? It does build, you know, determination to do better. I think it's sorely missed at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
I think bullies would actually do somebody some good these days, honestly.
Well, I mean, I think we were sort of known as like the water hose kids, right?
We were the goddamn court jesters of the crew. Like, real. We were the comic relief.
Yeah, I mean, but
when he got on the bus, what he was telling you earlier is when he got on the bus, he was literally the butt of the jokes until I got on the bus. The only, you know, reprieve you got is when I got on the bus, because you knew that they were going to at least, you know, deflect all the shit talking to me. You know what I mean? For at least a minute.
Yeah,
so that was the reality.
But I mean, the generation, we were the generation of what they call the water hose kids, right? Oh, we drank out of the water hose. We
are definitely the last of the feral kids.
We drank out of our faucets off the side of the houses, you know, and you know, we babysitted ourselves until our parents got home. We didn't have cell phones or tracking devices.
Nothing. Yeah, we were outside from the time in which we were able to leave, and you know, depending on your chores. That could have been as early as 8, 9 o'clock, you know, depending on when you woke up. And you didn't come home. And I mean, I know all of you have heard this in pop culture with, you know, Gen Zs is when the lights came on. That's reality. It's not a joke. That was real.
Yeah, the street lights came. Whose lights came? Oh, you got your ass whooped.
And you didn't come home in the middle of the day either because, you know what I'm saying, you didn't want your parents to figure out, you know what I'm saying, something for you to do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And you peed outside.
You peed outside. Even the girls peed outside. You understand me?
Yeah, you didn't go to the house to pee. You peed.
Hells no. Because you get a chore or get, you know, caught up.
But the good thing is, I mean, you know, starting off the way we did, it is kind of funny looking back on it because me and this man have been friends, and we ended up going to the same high school. We went to the same college. We played as Kappa.
Oops.
We traveled. You'll hear a lot about, you know, the original Passport Brothers. The stories is how we did it back in the day before social media. And you know,
thank God that social media didn't exist. Well,
hey, we had a roller coaster of a ride together, but we made money together. We cried together. We watched each other fall, and we've helped pick each other back up to get back on our feet. And we've had a great deal of success, both at early ages and then later in life. So I mean, this thing is going to be a fun ride for you guys. Hopefully, you'll hear a lot of the stories and the good times and the bad times. But ultimately, this thing's a ride. So, you know, jumping right into it, you know, I've never been married. And we'll talk a lot about relationships throughout a lot of the episodes in the podcast. And, you know, Tone just got a divorce. He was married and just came out of a divorce. And so, like, in you know, in contrasting like his life and my life, we both have daughters. I've got boys. And so he's getting to enjoy being a uncle since he never had boys. But I've got girls. He's got girls. We call it the player's curse. Because
we both started out as girl dads, 100%. His sons are a lot younger than his daughters, so we both started out as girl dads, 100%.
And we have very beautiful daughters, and so that's been
so gorgeous.
That's been a ride within itself.
Yeah,
but I mean, let's talk about life after divorce. I mean, so tell me, you were married for how many years?
22 years. I mean, technically 22 years. Divorce is different. When you are getting divorced, obviously, before the actual end, there is an end. Okay. So there's stages to the game. Me and my ex-wife are still currently raising, our children together. And I mean, so from that standpoint, you want to try to remain friends, but it's hard because, I myself had to find, some kind of proclivity that allowed me to heal, initially, because I really did underestimate what it would take for me to walk away from that situation. And
yeah, I mean, well, you got to think about it. I mean,
I did.
We both, through our, maturation process, I mean, we were kind of man whores. I mean, you were probably
bad as you, but yeah,
you probably weren't as bad as me, but I mean, we had our man whore stage.
Yeah, then honest, just, I mean, let's be real, man. I mean, like without the fake shit, everybody can see us. You know what I mean? Decent looking dudes.
Yeah.
And as older dudes, you know what I'm saying? You got to take, some years off of us and it wasn't worse. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, but we had some epic runs before you got married.
Oh my God.
Leading up to when you got married.
Have mercy.
And the funny part about it is we were talking the other day and I was asking you how things are going and you was like, man, I've been celibate. And I remember that I was going through a kind of a rough period in my life, and I came up to Michigan to visit you, and I was celibate. You remember that?
Yeah.
And you were geeked.
And how old were you? We were in our 20s.
Well, yeah, we were like, I was like probably 29, 28, 29.
You were that old.
I just finished law school.
Yeah, but
2000.
You wasn't making no money until you wasn't that old.
Yeah, I was.
Really?
Yes. I was that old, so I remember this. I come to Michigan.
Okay.
I'm like 2 years out of law school, practicing law. Just went through a breakup. I'm all fucked up, right? And I'm like, trying to find my way,
right?
And I come to Michigan, and I decide I'm gonna be celibate, and I wasn't drinking,
right?
And so you like shit. I mean, my boys in town, we about to do it big, like. You
got to give them a foundation. At the time. You
had the black book out. Like we didn't have cell phones back then. So I was like, so Tone got the black book out. It was actually females, non-verbal, and he gets plastic to put over his carpet because
it was called the tart. What it was I went to Home Depot. I had an indoor-outdoor carpet that I spliced together because I had a huge room in the crib that was kind of empty. 24-year-old, you're not filling up the house with, 3-bedroom house.
OCD. So he's OCD, and that's
my carpet. It was constant because I didn't want my carpet and stuff.
So he's got the tarp. He's got the black book.
It worked.
He's got the women coming to the crib. He's got the alcohol. We ready to roll. We got the DJ. And it gets started. And I think at this time, were you engaged?
No, I didn't even know Ivy that first time. I didn't even know her.
Okay.
I probably shouldn't say.
Yeah, so we do the party. He brings some girls around, and everybody's trying to get with him, get with me. You got the hot tub.
I had a jacuzzi in the house.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about we 20-something years old. 3-car garage, 4-bedroom house with a jacuzzi in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't hard.
Yeah, and I'm trying to go through this celibacy thing, and I'm not drinking.
Good luck with that at 20 something. In that environment.
I think I got like, I'll just say her name was Erica. Came through. It was a chick that I dated back in the day, and she kind of punked me because I wouldn't beat it. I would, I would have sex with her because I was going through some shit. But at the time, one of the things that I realized,
yeah, something out you though.
Yeah, but one of the things I realized later was that celibacy was really the cheat code because it gave me a lot of clarity.
Facts.
It helped elevate me to like a super genius for that period of time when I was celibate. And it really helped me get things in order, and it showed me the power that women have over us with the vagina, because when you're not having sex with them and you're not playing with them from a sexual standpoint, you take their power. You strip the power away.
Yeah.
So I mean, right now you're celibate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how long have you been celibate?
Well, over a year now. Yeah, now. Yeah. And I mean, it's phenomenal because no one would expect this from me. Nobody would think that would be my reaction to divorce.
Right.
You know what I mean? Nor did I.
Right.
I haven't been without a woman's, gaze or touch, you know what I'm saying, physically this long since I was like 14 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's remarkable.
Well, it's something to be said about controlling the lust bug, right? We've heard it. You've dealt with it. I've dealt with it. All men deal with it. Really, we all deal with it from infancy, not infancy, but I mean, like infancy and adolescence, all right? When you're dealing with early, adolescence, a man has a whole lot to contend with. I mean, a whole lot. And that bug can viciously control you until you're 40, 50 and longer if you allow it to. But when you gain control of it and you really seize hold of it and you pay attention to what actually satisfies you outside of sexual gratification. Yes, it takes away the power, but it also broadens the imagination. It allows you to think outside the box. It takes away what you would normally think about. Think about how much you think about pussy on a regular basis, like just during the day, as a young man.
Well, yeah.
And, I mean, just in general, how much did a young man all the way up to his 20s, 30s, just in general, just think about pussy during the day.
Right. Right. In that book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, there's a whole chapter on sex transmutation.
Read that. He has all this Dennis's version. Yeah.
Right. But the original version, which a lot of people would say is outdated, he says that most men don't reach their peak financially until they're 40s or 50s because they're so busy, preoccupied with chasing pussy that they don't ever reach the heights that they're supposed to until they can control the sexual urge, which is the strongest urge.
Which is the dumbest shit on the planet, because when you reach heights that you're looking to hit, that's organic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, but why do we try to reach the heights?
It's our dicks.
Well, our dicks, and then like we want to, the more money you make,
but
right, the more you attract women.
Right. That's my point. That is my point.
Because I've always said, like, dude, if it was just a planet full of dudes, we'd be cavemen. Oh, we wouldn't shave.
Nothing.
We wouldn't take showers. I'd
get beard or something's in the hair for whatever I wanted. Right. I wouldn't have no law or order. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would shower most of the time. You know what I mean? Like, what do I care?
I mean, and I don't want to say this. Like, I don't want to say that our whole existence is related to women, like, or trying to be real. Let's be real. But
we're the point. The point. What I think, bro. I mean, what's the point of being? What's the point of being in shape? What's the point of having any resources without the ability to, get affection from a woman?
Yeah, I mean, so let me ask you this. I mean, like, this leads me to my next thought, which was, when we were younger, I mean, the sexual urge is very strong. I mean, as you age, I mean, Father Time helps with some of it,
It does.
But
It does.
I mean, when you're young, I mean, you just a walk it hard on.
But your mind doesn't let it go. You know, even when you get older, and this is for you young guys, your mind will still want to emulate that same process. So, like, you know, it doesn't go away. It's kind of like the vernacular outside of the fact that maturity as well as growth and goals, you know, can, you know, make you do something different. But it's a tough bag to fill.
So in wrapping up this sort of segment, the cheat code for you young fellas out there truly is celibacy. One, if you're chasing money. Two, if you're chasing women, because here's the thing. Here's the thing, fellas.
I tell you celibacy at 20.
Let me finish. Let me finish my point though.
Yeah.
Chasing women, chasing money, celibacy is a cheat code because one, you get to look at a woman for who she is and not for the lust. Because here's what happens in relationships. You meet a woman, you immediately go to bed with her, you fall in lust with her because the sex is so great. She's beautiful, she's attractive. And so you go through this lustful situation without even really getting to know the person. Whereas when you're celibate, you're forced to get to know the person. And you might come out of the lustful 2-year situation with a girl and realize I don't even like her.
Yeah.
Right? I don't even like her. So it's the cheat code for young men. And if you can do it, I mean, it's tough.
It is tough.
The first 30 to 45 days are the roughest.
Especially as a young man, I feel for you. But if you can do it, I would agree with Art that you would have a serious advantage at a young man's age. This is something that most men don't encounter and or understand or are willing to even try.
Right.
Until you're at least 40.
And you strip the power.
And let's be real. We'll be the first ones to admit at 18 and 25, we wouldn't have digested this.
No, unless I was forced to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, either I had to go to jail or like I went to rehab and they said I couldn't have sex anyway, but a certain amount of nuts, right? Like, and that's what people say that like, oh, you must have went to rehab because you had to be celibate. You could have sex. No, it's really an art form to it. And the final piece to it is you take the power away from women because when you're not chasing the ass, they don't have that power over you. So, I mean, that's what really makes it the cheat code. But the next question that I have for you on that in that same line of what we were talking about is it better now or was it better when we were younger? Because when we were younger, we were good looking. We had potential.
Mm-hmm.
We had fun.
Literally had no money.
We had women, but we had no money.
True that.
And now
it's easy, or because we were young, I think that's why right. It's just like young men now. You gotta have guys that are younger that are running the gambit. All right, they got them all, the baddies of the baddies, and they ain't got a pot to piss in, just like we were.
I know, right? But let me finish. So now we got a little bread. We bossed up.
Okay,
we're professionals. We're making money. We doing our thing. We've been good dads. We've raised daughters.
Fact.
We're still halfway decent looking guys at our age.
Still in the gym.
And it's still in the gym, still in the fitness shit, which is another cheat code.
Oh, yeah. But them guys, don't forget that.
But
it's real.
At the end of the day, the question is that I'm posing to you, is it better now because we can travel, we got money, we've got access, right? Versus when we were in our 20s, we didn't have
runability. Nomads didn't have any resources, but still had a fucking ball. That's a good question, my guy. I mean, I think that's a context question.
And the second part of the question is, one, was it better then or is it better now? And two, why?
Well, that's what I was going into. I mean, I think it's contextual because when we were younger, I mean, our wants and needs, I mean, we didn't think about getting 2 rooms. Are you kidding me? Think about that. Like when we travel, that was unheard of.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. We went to Essence Festival. We shared a room. We went to
the double boy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I mean, we might even head to tow it if it was too expensive. You feel me?
Right.
But that's a young man's journey. That's what a young man's willing to do to get it in because of the resources, right? Now that's unheard of. You got a suite, I got a suite, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. But that's unheard of. But back then, you operating on the resources that you have. And in that regard, we winning because we getting attention from girls, just like the dudes down younger or whatever the case may be. And they giving us love based on what? Because we fucking cute. That's it. Honestly. And we're vibe and cute.
Right.
We had no fucking money.
Right.
But they probably had somebody that had some money outside of us. The only difference is nowadays is that the younger groups are, kind of alienating themselves in the regards to the young group, because when we were younger, young girls didn't fool with cats 40, 50 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They might have dealt with a cat in maybe their high 20s or 30s or whatever, but the dude their daddy's age, that was unheard of. That was taboo. That was nasty. But these young cats have come so, different with the younger generation women that they like, yo, I want to be treated like a lady. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they go with the OG cats because the OG cats ain't doing the 50-50. The OG cats are throwing them a couple hundred if they need it. You know what I'm saying? They're opening it up for them and treating them like a lady or whatever. So they like, fuck this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'll get with, because, everybody in this lane now is not what your daddy used to. We don't look like our daddies, Nick. Huh? Not even close.
Well, no, I mean, our daughters, when we took them to Miami, we were talking with them at breakfast, and they were talking about how the men in their age group are a little sassy.
Oh,
they want to get their nails.
that's not a good word.
They want to get their hair cut. They want to whiskey.
You get referred to as sassy, homeboy. You need to switch it up. That ain't good.
They want to wear bonnets.
That's not the stamp that you want. You wear a bonnet, I'll slap the shit out of you.
I mean, but that's the reality. That's the reality of this generation. That's the reality of the young man that we growing up, that our daughters are growing up in. So I think you kind of answering the question, which is better now because
it's contextual.
Because we grew up in a different time period.
Right.
But you can't tell this younger generation, think about it from this perspective. Because I'm a lawyer, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. When I was younger and a girl bought me some shit, I thought I was on some pimping shit, like gigolo type shit. So I get it. So I was like, I'm winning. Right? It wasn't like, oh yeah, you paying 50, you going 50.
Look at how we revered
50-50. I don't have to go 50-50. If I got a girl buying me food,
right,
which we did in college, we had girls that were buying food. We thought it was on some G shit.
Look at how we revered the STP.
Right.
Which is short for Shorty the Pimp.
Right.
All right. And that was a cat that was our frat brother that did his thing, but he was driving cars and had a apartment, all kind. And at that time, that was revealed, and I get it, but that wasn't like, so why I need you to get my hair cut or my nails done.
So what's the G? That ain't G. Why are we busting the young cats' heads for wanting to go?
Because of the context.
But it was some G shit back in the day.
Well, G shit.
Because I remember specifically.
Iron is different than.
But Tone, I had a girl who came from a very wealthy family. I didn't really like her, but I liked the fact that she had money and she bought me shit. And I remember this goes into another whole different story, but she would buy me a bunch of clothes, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I remember her coming to the crib one day, and my mother came out with a box. And she had boxed up all the shit that the girl had bought me.
Mm.
And when she boxed it up, she gave it to the girl and said, I ain't raising no motherfucking gigolos over here. you giving my son clothes for dick. And I was like, Mom, what the jacket I'm doing? What the fuck I'm doing?
Well, you knew it.
When the girl left, this is what my mama said. God bless the child that's got his own. And any woman that's going to give you all that shit is going to try to control you, son. And so it did.
Same for men, no.
And so it didn't really dawn on me until I got older that whoever's buying has the control, right?
She old?
No, her family had money.
Right.
So I mean, to me, I thought it was some G shit at the time, but what my mama was really doing was dropping an OG nugget, which was, motherfucker, this girl's gonna try to control you with the bread.
Right.
And you being controlled by it right now, because I was hooked on it. You know?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I could see where that would be easy.
And then the other part of it is when I was in law school, my girlfriend was in medical school. I mean, we went 50-50 sometimes.
That's different. Yeah, I mean, but y'all, I know you're talking about, and that's different. You know, y'all had well over a year.
Both struggling.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all working it out at that point. Y'all a team. You know, aren't you? You're not talking about like what we talking about. We talking about like first date. You know,
so it's different when you dating somebody and y'all working towards a goal.
Yeah, you know,
to be
with this person
50-50.
Yeah, that's not unheard of when you're talking about building, right? Y'all a team. But when you're initially courting a woman, you know, as a man, and you know you're coming with the 50-50, I mean, it is definitely a kind of a lacking ass look. You as a man should be and willing to provide a woman with those means, you know, on the first date. That's a first date, you know. I mean, it's an interest meeting, whatever you want to call it. But to ask a woman or anybody for that matter, if you're inviting them, you know, to split the ticket with you 50-50 is, you know, maybe we old school. But to me, that's
then you're not taking her to Ruth Chris or Capitol Grill and I'm in my 20s. I mean, I was happy to go to Red Lobster. That was Red Lobster. That was my shit. Like if I took you to Red Lobster and got you the cheddar biscuit,
I liked you.
Yeah, we were doing it.
We were on a real date, you know. But that said, I mean, these young cats just I think are misconstrued as to, you know, the overall prize. You know what I mean? You want a woman to revere you and respect you, but you can't present yourself like they do and get that in return. That's not how it works.
The sassy piece.
You can't do that. Like, how's a woman going to respect you as a man and follow you if, you know, you on the sassy piece?
Right. No, I get it. I mean,
don't make no damn sense.
Yeah, but that goes into sort of the next topic, which is, like, as a man, you really can't respect yourself and love yourself until you achieve a certain status in life. Would you agree with me on that?
We absolutely, because we are, you know, bona fide, you know what I mean? As men, we are based on providing and service and security. Okay. So women actualize when they get chose. Okay. A man asks you to marry him or whatever. And oh my dad. Okay. That's when they actualize, you know what I'm saying? They, you know, they have gotten married and, you know, they've been chosen, right? A man does not look for that as actualization. We wait until we position ourselves to get into the position we're talking about, and then we go find, or that's when we, you know, typically would prefer to find our, you know what I'm saying, optimum mate, is when we are already self-actualized and presenting ourselves with the opportunities as we see fit in our mind. Like, we need to have this in play. We need to, because we as providers, we're concerned with how our family looks. We're concerned with how we can provide for our children and our wife.
Yeah.
So a lot of times these women are thinking like, oh, he just bullshitting, you know, no, baby, he not bullshitting. He wants to be ready for the task.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He wants to feel good when he go to sleep.
Well, now, you know, like, I feel like what you're saying, it was sort of how I viewed it. Like, I was trying to build myself up and build my kingdom, so that when I brought the woman into the fold, I was ready.
Right.
And I feel like true real men, especially when I was younger, I probably wasn't ready. And I've been engaged several times and almost got to the finish line.
How many times you been engaged?
I think 5 times.
How many rings you bought?
5 or 6.
How many rings you bought?
Man, I wish they had lab.
All 5 rings.
I wish they had lab diamonds back now.
How many rings you get back?
Man, none of them. I ain't got none of them motherfuckers back. But I say this: we don't really love ourselves until we achieve a certain place in our life.
Facts.
And so men can't love women. Listen to this. A man can't love you until he loves himself.
or at least respects himself, right?
Well, and it goes hand in hand.
It does.
Love and respect.
Yeah,
man.
For us, it's the same.
Real men. Now, some dudes, they'll sleep on your couch. They'll have 4 or 5 women. They slinging dick. That's cool. But I'm saying a real dude, he can't love. He can't love and respect you until he loves and respects himself. And we have to hit certain benchmarks, whatever that is for us. And most men really aren't going to hit that benchmark until mid-30s to early 40s. So, ladies, if you meet a man and they're like, now, if y'all meet each other and y'all are young and y'all are trying to build and y'all a team, that concept might work. Obviously,
it can absolutely work.
Yeah.
I mean, but you have to, be in it as a team. I mean, that's paramount.
But in my utopia, I always visualize me and my woman coming together, building something, building a family, building this kingdom with our home and our kids and all of that. So I've kind of missed that boat.
I don't know that you missed it as much as it might not exist. I mean, I'm sure it exists for some people, but being married for over 20 plus years, I can tell you that, I mean, no marriage is perfect and no marriage is going to be like that throughout. There's going to be bumps and bruises. There's going to be lessons to be learned. There's going to be hardships and what have you. What you want in a marriage is to have the basics, right? You got at least a mutual respect and love for yourself to get through that bullshit.
Yeah.
That's key.
Yeah. I mean,
because there's going to be some bullshit, but if you love each other and you have a mutual respect and destination that you're both trying to get to, you're probably going to be okay.
I want to pull this statistic up while we're on this topic, not to cut you off. So, and this is like some conversation that we were having with our daughters, because I'm worried about their generation. I mean, because I think I've spoken to at least 2 of my daughters want to meet, marry, and have kids, and statistically, the marriage statistics for 21 to 30, let's say 35-year-olds,
probably not too good.
I mean,
look at this. The statistics we started with
30. I think it's 30% of that generation will get married, and I mean that's
yeah, that's pretty low.
That's real low.
Yeah.
And so I mean, if we're talking to young folks,
well, the girls are kind of the dudes now. It's been a complete departure from roles. I mean, the guys are looking for, emotional and financial support, and the girls are kind of a lot more aggressive, if you will, but also not really tripping on, being chose. I mean, they're more so like, okay with being single or okay with not being in a relationship and okay with dealing with multiple dudes. That's more of a dude's approach than a female.
So it says people in this generation, millennials, Gen Zs, are marrying later in less frequency than the previous generations, with millennials only having about 20%, 26% married by their 30s, compared to 30% of Gen X. And even seeing even lower rates with trends showing that they may never marry, driven by financial stress, shifting priorities, and changing social norms. So, I mean, basically only about 20%, 26% of millennials are married by their 30s.
That's what,
which was baby boomers, I guess. So that would be us. 48%.
That's our parents is baby boomers, dude. What did you talk?
Okay, well,
we Gen
50% of baby boomers.
What are we, Gen Z?
Yeah, Gen X.
Gen X.
So 50% of baby boomers were married by the age of 30, 36% in our generation and 26% in this generation.
Yeah.
So, I mean, basically what that says was this generation is either not concerned with getting married, It's
definitely not a priority. Yeah, the priority is gone, but the institution of marriage, I think, is where the damage is, because no one is like grandmama and granddaddy were they? You know what I mean? Like nobody is really following the laws of traditional institution. And when I say that, I mean I know that there's kind of a like that's not the type of vernacular you should use, but at the end of the day, men and women, and let's be real, that's what I'm talking about, men and women. Okay. We've got roles to play based on what was ordained. And when we fit our roles, when we adhere to our roles, things typically go well. Traditional roles. Now, I'm not saying, you got to stay in the kitchen and there are some obvious changes, over time or what have you. But I do believe that women should be softer than the husband or man. I do believe that they should be, fostering like a real peaceful household and what have you. And the man should be, taking care of that household. You know what I mean? Going out and doing what he's supposed to do in order to make sure that everybody is substantially secure and, taken care of. And I know that's an old school thought process. I know that.
I mean, you're teetering in the Kevin Samuels pool right now. I mean,
maybe, but I mean, that's what it is. I'm old school, but at the end of the day, I don't believe that a man that calls himself a man, should look for anybody else.
So basically, what she's saying is women should stay at home, clean the house, have bed.
No, I'm not saying that that's it, but I'm saying that they should be comfortable in that role if, in fact, that's the role that they got. Okay, and I mean, own it, and don't be mad because what I'm saying, that's a traditional role. Yeah, you know what I mean. Do that to the best of your ability. I had to be the house bitch for all kinds of years. Now, I'm not saying that for the ladies. The ladies, I deem myself the house bitch, okay? I dealt with a scenario where, things went bad for me due to real estate issues. Back in the day, I started in real estate. And for a while, when my kids were young, okay, I spent years, not a lot of years, but some years, as a stay-at-home dad. I woke up, watched my daughters, got their hair done, dressed them, made their
do their hair.
I did their hair. I did your daughter's hair. You understand me? And I was good at that shit too. You ask my daughters now, they'd be like, "Where you get your hair done?" And they'd be like, "Antonio's."
I wasn't a braider.
No, it's Antonio's. Antonio's. That's where Antonio's.
The Washington set came in during my dad's years. I was loving it because I didn't braid no hair. I couldn't braid.
I could braid. I knew how to, because, my daughter's got decent gray. So, I mean, I would do like the curly thing.
Yeah.
Now, his hair would be laid. Yeah, right. You laid it. And I mean, I did their hair every day. I took them to, ballet practice and all of that. Then we went home after daycare if I had. I mean, I cooked their dinner. I did everything. I did the laundry.
So
I cooked and cleaned, bro.
So that's
the best house bitch ever.
So that makes you have the ability to kind of have some more misogynist.
I have idea of that position because I felt it. I know what it feels like. Now I did not,
because a lot of people.
I didn't get the grace that women do in that position, and I know damn well I did it better than most women when I was in it. But no, as a married man, I did not.
But a lot of people would say you're trying to back your way out of the sort of the misogyny that you were walking in just a minute ago. I mean, because here's the thing, like we live in this difference.
What did I say?
We live in a difference. I mean, you basically saying women need to stay in their place, be at home, cook and clean, and have raised kids.
What I'm saying is
and hold on, let me
go ahead.
This generation, man, like they're different. Like they want women. It's about independence.
True.
I don't need no man. Right. I can do it. Whatever a man could do, I can do it better. I can do it just as good or better.
Yeah, they basically are dicks. I got it.
And again, you just like you eating it up. I mean, sir,
I'm not saying
you just said they got dicks.
It's not the same
because they want to have independence.
No, they can have independence. That's not what I'm saying, man. What I'm saying is that I took on that job in that position because that was the only way I could benefit my family at the time. Right now, most women in that situation ain't necessarily doing it because that's the only thing they can do. Is because that's just the role or the position that the family dynamic offers, right? So they, and then they want to be home with the kids, at least when they live.
Bro,
that's what it is, right?
I sat out for a whole year and to almost 2 years, and I went through my drama.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be at the crib, and I hated it. So there are a lot of women that don't want to stay at. And you were single too, so there's a lot of women that don't want to stay at home and raise kids. They'd rather go to work every day and make money.
Well, that one.
No, I think
a pretty woman loving a rich man. Like, I don't know that all of them want to work.
Oh, you gonna get beat up. You gonna get beat up, bro.
Fuck it. I mean, I'm just saying. Like, I mean, it ain't my experience that most women want to work. Now, I'm not saying that they won't work. They'll go get the degrees. They've been, be a titan in their industry, okay, on their own. But all of them, from what I can tell, would prefer to be a pretty woman loving a rich man.
You're gonna get beat up with that one. I'm not gonna ride with Teddy Crab. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take the other boat.
Take this one.
I'm gonna take the other boat
I'll take that.
Because you got a lot of independent women out here that work real hard to achieve the same things that we achieve.
And I applaud them.
And give more.
And let's give them a round of applause. They give them a round of applause. But facts remain. Give them a choice. Would you rather do this on your own, girl? Do you want to keep doing this, working hard as hell, or would you like a man with tons of money to make everything okay?
Well, you're taking the Kevin Samuels approach, right? Like basically,
I'm just saying.
You want a man to take care of you. Want a high value man.
Give him the.
You want a high value man.
Well, I mean, he got to be high value in order to take those type of situations out of your concern. So give them the choice. And you tell me how many women, percentage-wise, would prefer to work their ass off and pay their own bills.
So you're saying...
I think there's not as many that you think.
So you're saying there are a lot of women that chose to be Oprah. And
women don't have a choice to be Oprah.
They chose to be Oprah.
They
chose to be Oprah, but
they might have wanted to be Oprah,
but they don't want to be Oprah. They would rather have gone back, had kids, had a family, stayed at home, and not worked hard every day and became a titan in their industries.
They're in a fat ass house with all kinds of resources.
I mean, they might be like
the example. They're in a fat ass house with yes, I was with
a dog.
Fucking 4 dogs or whatever. I mean, but bottom line is they got everything that they want. Okay,
they might not have them.
Women want security, my guy.
They want,
but
they're saying they can have it. They don't need a man to get them security.
That's fine, but
let me tell you, for the step
have a man.
Hey, but here's the thing: there's a whole generation of women that are our age that are dating down. They're dating younger men.
Well, they're doing what men have done historically. Like I told you, I mean,
they're like, I need you to come over and service me. I got the money.
Yeah,
I got the house.
All right,
I got the car.
I got your car.
You just come over here and service mama.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you feel about that? How you feel about that?
I think that cougars that you probably talking about deserve that young dick and let them give it if they can afford it. Let them young niggas beat the brakes off their ass.
So that takes me to the subject of sugar daddies versus sugar mamas.
I mean, it's a hill in that regard. A sugar mama with bread that can afford the dick she getting should be able to absorb and enjoy that dick as she see fit.
Okay, so you on the one hand, you on the misogynist piece where you think they should be at the crib, like
I never
cleaning it.
You consider misogynist? No, what I said was this.
But then on the other hand, when it comes to,
I'm gonna say this. I'm a girl dad. When it comes, Jack thinks that women should be just cooking and cleaning only. But what I'm saying is if that is comfortably your lane, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Okay, well I ride with you. I ride with you there. But what the point that I'm trying to make. And what I'm saying is, because I'm playing devil's advocate right now, and we're talking for the audience.
And then keep in mind, the girl that I was talking about is being well taken care of. She ain't just like fostering like all kinds of work and sweating over the kitchen all day, fucking with the kids, and then coming home to a broke cat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right. Now, or a broke cat coming home to her. I feel you, but girl, they ain't struggling. She ain't struggling in my scenario.
A lot of women that have worked very hard their entire life to get where they are, both financially and successfully and professionally, would take offense to what you're saying because they had to work so hard. and they may not.
There's nothing to take offense to, in my opinion, because I'm not saying nothing that's specifically your demise. I'm saying that, if that's your role, if that's what you decide to do with your time, but you evaluate, your life at the end and say, like, I wish I'd have made different choices because I don't have no kids. I never got married. Yeah, I got a big ass house. I got dogs and cats, but I don't have anything that makes me feel actualized as a woman.
No, I mean, I feel you.
We don't actualize by marriage.
I feel you. I feel you. But I made a post the other day on Instagram about how a man should pick up the tab on the first date,
on the 50-50,
and instead of going 50-50. And I was amazed that I got some comments, some people in my in that DM me and said, I don't need no man to pick up my tab. I can pick up the tab. These are women. And I'm like, well, I thought you would be happy that I would be supporting this position. But they were taking offense to what I was saying. Like, I don't need no man to pick up my tab. I can pick up my own tab. That's what I go to work every day for. If I want to pick up the tab, why can't I pick up the tab? So I think it goes,
in, baby.
But I think it goes,
hold your metaphoric dick when you pee. I mean, it's all good.
If that's what you want. But I think it goes back to women are taking on more of masculine traits.
100%.
Because when you have had to be the breadwinner, which a lot of women have had to be,
you normally would take on the masculine traits because you are honestly the breadwinner, and the breadwinner, the person that's out there getting it, is going to be, the more masculine, persona.
I mean, they out here battling just like we talk about all the time. You go out in the jungle, you got to battle with the wolves and the lions, and they're having to battle those same battles, and they're a woman.
Yeah.
So some people might say their road is tougher than you and I road.
100%, because she's doing it as a woman. We know how hard it is as a man. So if a woman has to do it, then hell yeah, it's probably tougher.
Yeah. So
because she's operating amongst men, and she's having to win,
right?
Amongst men,
right?
So yeah, I would say it's tough for sure.
But I'll say this. I mean, as I've gotten older, my needs and what I want in a woman have definitely changed.
Oh yeah.
When I was a younger cat, I was looking for more of a
looks
50-50 partner.
I was
financially
looking for a bad bitch.
Well, you were always looking for a bad. You was always a picky motherfucker. Like,
oh my God.
You was like Mr. Picky, dog. I gave, I mean,
yeah,
I was.
Well, I had to go in over there. I mean, I gave everything chance. I gave some charity. You gave some charity work out for sure.
I definitely did charity work. I was the YMCA,
I can't
Goodwill.
I can't get my situation straight for those though.
Yeah,
it's a problem for me.
Yeah.
But if I don't want it, I just don't. I don't want it.
No, you were a picky.
We don't want it.
Yeah, you were a picky.
But if he don't want it, what am I do?
Right.
If he don't show up, it's a waste.
So next good question to parlay into. So what do you like? Like, what do you think you want now as an older cat versus when you were younger?
That's a good question, man. And I can tell you that being as married as long as I did definitely allows me to know what I don't want. If that's an answer. But if I had to, I would have to be with a woman that understood who I was, okay, and what value not what value I bring. That's not a good way to, okay. I would need the woman to understand what it took to get the best out of me, if that makes sense, okay? And that means that she would want to see me happy. She would want to give me respect. She would want to see me do the best I could potentially do. Because if she's paying attention, if she's with me, then all that benefits her. Right?
Right.
I mean, if you're with me, how me doing better is not going to benefit you. And I would want a woman to understand that and foster that. And then really just for me, and I promise you this is the only way that I would even consider it, you got to create peace for me.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to create peace. You got to make sure that when I see you, when I enter the space that we share, that I am refreshed. And I don't give a shit what kind of day I had.
Yeah.
I want to walk in and immediately feel like everything's okay. At least for now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna get the fuck back up tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get right back into the what the, you know what I'm saying? But from here until I wake up tomorrow, I'm at peace. You know what I'm saying? She's giving me that peace. She's my, you know, my thermostat almost. She can bring my temperature down.
Right.
You know, it's on touch.
So that's an interesting.
And you know, she knows what I want.
Because I was thinking I was gonna get more of a superficial answer from you, but it's definitely
I fucking thought
you fuck me, yeah, for love, fuck me up, you know, you thought it.
I didn't thought about it. I've thought about it.
No, I mean, I think pieces.
I've had nothing but time to think.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I during your period of celibacy, you know, what I mean, you've elevated yourself to this super genius guy. I mean,
but that was But I mean, let's be real. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It is partly because the pursuit of the bag. I mean, like that, you know, in itself, because of what you were talking about, I also I also read, you know, Think and Grow Rich, and I do believe the same thing, wholeheartedly. And, you know, it wasn't easy initially, but I mean, I am somewhat impressed at this point at how long, you know, I've been able to go without folly mentally. And then I'll be the first one to admit that it was able to sharpen the tool. It gave me focus in areas that I haven't had in some time, you know, and I've been able to accomplish a lot in the short period of time that I'm talking.
Yeah,
quite a bit.
Yeah, well, we're gonna get back to that in a few weeks. We'll see where you at.
Well, that said, Meta, this one right here, and you know, you guys can check the website to see what's to come. But we're actually releasing a coin.
Right.
Okay, follow up on that. That's gonna be something else. But these ventures and all the stuff that I'm into now are things that I may have saw or may not have saw based on my position now.
Yeah, but here's the thing:
eyes wide open. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's easy. But
yeah, here's the thing: like you are, as you know, when things are going well, and God's working in your favor, the devil's always gonna rear his head.
Oh, he is,
and he knows you like a little waist and a big ass.
Yep,
and some really beautiful and really fit.
Yep,
and so he's gonna bring it. It's coming, bro. So I mean,
I had that before I got sold.
But I mean, it's gonna come. It's coming in waves. So I mean, how you gonna deal with it?
The same way we just explained to the young man. When you can control your lust bug, they have no power.
Right.
I don't give a shit.
Once you lose the lust,
I don't give a shit how bad.
Yeah.
You know how fun. Doesn't matter.
But and then I feel you. I mean, I'm proud of you. You're doing it. You're doing your thing. You definitely do.
At least for now.
I want to see how you deal with the lust bug when he shoots it at you, because he's gonna give it to you. And I mean, that's inevitable in anything that we do in life,
right?
Like you can be doing great, and the devil knows what we like. It's coming.
He's gonna find his way in. He's gonna sneak it in.
It's coming
some kind of way to make sure.
I mean, it might be
try to trip your.
It might be a 2 or 3.
Oh. It might come through. It might come through disguised as a damn blessing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's how gangster it can get. But when you know him and you're following his grace, you ain't got shit to worry about.
Yeah,
let's be real.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
how would motherfuckers like us got this far? You know what I'm saying? If his grace wasn't infinite and undoing, you can't undo his grace. You just can't.
No, I feel you on that.
As long as you don't buy into the bullshit and you don't listen to, you know, what you're talking about right now, you know what I mean, or feed into it, nah, please believe, you know what I'm saying? Stay guy, soldier.
Yeah.
I ain't going nowhere.